Hi everybody. So this week is Hanukkah and I thought I would read a Hanukkah story to you guys. Now I'm curious, who out there celebrates Hanukkah? If your family celebrates Hanukkah, go like this. That's excellent. Now, I always say it is so important to learn about everyone's holidays. Even if it's not a holiday you celebrate, well, you might know someone who celebrates that holiday. And it's good to learn about everyone's different holidays and traditions. Now, growing up, my best friend who lived 2 houses down from me, her family is Jewish. So they celebrated Hanukkah. My family celebrated Christmas. So she and I, we kind of shared holidays when we were growing up, which was a really cool thing to do. So for my family, when we were decorating the tree, she would come over and help us. She'd help make cookies with us. Christmas morning, she'd come over and see all the stuff that Santa brought. And then with her family, on the first night of Hanukkah, I would come over and have dinner with them. I would watch her light the menorah for the first night and get a present. And then every night of Hanukkah, I would go over and say, hey, what'd you get tonight? So it was just really cool growing up that way. And I got to share my holiday with her, and she shared her holiday with me. So the book I'm going to read today is called The Hanukkah Guest, and it is written by Eric A. Kimmel, and it is illustrated by Giora Carmi. And in this book, there is a bear who ends up attending a Hanukkah celebration that he was not invited to. The bear will be growling a lot in this story, so I need a little help because my growl is not very good. Can you tell me right now, how does a bear sound? Can you growl for me? Whoa, that was a good growl. Very good growl, my friend. Okay, so in the book, when the bear growls, I want you to growl with me, okay? It'll make it an even more fun story. And what I also love about this story is how we get to see a lot of the different traditions that are a part of Hanukkah, okay? And one of the things is the food that the old lady in the story, Baba Brena, makes. She makes a ton of potato latkes. And if you have never had a potato latke, my friend, you definitely should. They are delicious. It's basically like shredded up potatoes and onions that are fried, kind of like a potato pancake. Oh, so yummy and delicious. So I'm going to read this book and it's going to make me very hungry. So this is The Hanukkah Guest. Old Bear roused himself from his winter sleep. He yawned a gigantic yawn. Everyone give me a big yawn. Then he stretched himself all over. Everyone get a good stretch in. Then he poked his nose outside his den. A soft blanket of deep snow covered the ground. Spring was still many months away. Old Bear wrinkled his nose. Ooh, what was that delicious smell? It smelled like something to eat, which reminded Old Bear that it had been months since he had eaten anything. Old Bear's empty stomach rumbled. He shook himself all over, then lumbered out of his den to follow the delicious smell. Baba Brena took the last potato latke from the pan and put it in the oven with the others. The latkes would stay warm in there until her guests arrived. Baba Brena was 97 years old and did not hear or see as well as she used to, but she still made the best potato latkes in the village. Every year at Hanukkah time, all her friends made their way through the snow to her little house on the edge of the forest. Oh, how they loved her latkes. Baba Brena always made plenty, but tonight, on the first night of Hanukkah, she made twice as many as usual. Tonight was special. Tonight, the rabbi was coming. Now, do you guys know what a rabbi is? A rabbi is like the religious leader, okay? Kind of like if you go to church, right, there's a priest or a pastor that leads the service. Well, in the Jewish religion, that's a rabbi, okay, who kind of leads religious services, and they're kind of like the religious leader of the village. Baba Brena put on a clean apron and set the table. She filled a bowl with nuts for the dreidel game. Kitzel the cat rubbed against her ankles as she bustled around the kitchen. One last chore, the candles for the menorah. Baba Brena went to get them. Just then she heard a knock at the door. It wasn't exactly a knock, more like a soft thumping. Oh, my guests must be early, Baba Brena said. She opened the door. The cat hissed and dived under the table. Why, Rabbi, how nice to see you, Baba Brena said. And the bear growls. Grrr, growled Old Bear. And happy Hanukkah to you too. Please come in. Old Bear lumbered into the house. He shook the snow from his fur. I'll take your coat, Rabbi. Oh my, how thick it is. It must be very cold outside. Bubba Braina tugged at the old bear's fur. Grrr, old bear roared. Oh, you prefer to leave your coat on? Well, that's all right. It is a little chilly in here. Come into the kitchen. I've set the table for a lovely Hanukkah evening. Old Bear followed Bubba Braina into the kitchen. The delicious smells made his nose twitch. Grrr. Oh, thank you, Rabbi. How kind of you to say. The latkes will taste even better than they smell. Now, is that really the rabbi? No, it's a wild bear in her house. Why does Bubba Braina think that this bear is the rabbi? Well, we did learn she is 97 years old and she doesn't see or hear very well. So she thinks this bear is a rabbi. Old Bear followed his nose to the oven. Grrr. Oh, Rabbi, I'm surprised at you. You know we don't eat until we light the menorah. Grrr. Oh, that's all right. I know you were just teasing. I'll light the candles. Will you say the blessings? Grrr. Bubba Braina struck a match and lit the shamus candle. Then she lit the one for the first night. Old Bear muttered and growled. Grrr. Who has kept us, preserved us, and sustained us to this time. Oh, Rabbi, you say the blessings so beautifully. Bubba Braina pulled out a chair. Old Bear sat down. Let's play dreidel. I have some nuts we can play with. Now, if you don't know, dreidel is a game that you play with this spinning top, and depending on what letter it lands on, you win. Well, in this game, it's nuts, okay? Old Bear's nose twitched. He cracked a nut in his teeth. Now, Rabbi, you won't have any nuts for the game if you eat them all. Grrr, growled the old bear. Oh, don't worry. I have more nuts if you need them. Bubba Braina gave the dreidel a spin. Old Bear sniffed at the little top as it whirled around. It stopped on the letter none. Nothing. We spin again. Bubba Braina spun the dreidel once more. This time it stopped on the letter Gimel. I win. Bubba Braina swept the nuts into her apron. Grrr, the old bear roared. I hope you guys are roaring with me because my voice is not letting me roar today as well as I could. So please help me with the roars, my friends. Now don't be angry, Rabbi. It's just a game. Here. She tossed him a nut. The old bear caught it in his paws, cracked it handily, and then begged for more. Grrr. No, Rabbi, no more nuts. Now it's time for dinner. Old Bear snuffled and grumbled. Grrr. Bubba Braina opened the oven door and took out a platter piled high with steaming potato latkes. Old Bear's nose twitched as she set them on the table. Do you prefer your latkes with sour cream or jam? Grrr, Old Bear growled. Jam, I thought so. Bubba Braina smeared 5 big latkes with jam and stacked them on Old Bear's plate. Old Bear snuffled with pleasure as he gobbled the latkes down. Bubba Braina laughed. You should use a fork. You have jam all over your beard. She wet a towel and wiped Old Bear's face. I must tell you, Rabbi, you eat just like a bear. Grrr! Oh, I'm as hungry as a bear, so I eat like one. I can see that. Bubba Braina chuckled. Old Bear ate and ate until all the latkes were gone. He licked jam and sour cream from his muzzle and his paws. Then Old Bear began to feel drowsy. He yawned. His great head flopped on Bubba Braina's lap. Rabbi, you're sleepy. Well, who wouldn't be after such a meal? All the latkes are gone. It's time to go home. But before you leave, I have a Hanukkah present for you. Bubba Braina took out a red woolen scarf from the cupboard. She wrapped it around Old Bear's neck. This scarf will keep you warm on the coldest nights. I knitted it myself. Grrr! Old Bear licked Bubba Braina's face. Bubba Braina blushed. Oh, Rabbi, at my age. Old Bear shuffled to the door. It was time to return to his den. He felt very sleepy. Grrr! He growled as he ambled off into the night. He turned around once more before disappearing into the forest. Grrr! Good night to you too, Rabbi. Happy Hanukkah. Bubba Braina was washing the dishes when she heard another knock. I wonder who that is. Shalom, Bubba Braina. Her friends and neighbors stood at the door wishing her a happy Hanukkah. Shalom, everybody, Bubba Braina cried. How nice to see you. Please come in. I'm sorry, I don't have any more latkes. The rabbi came by and he ate all of them. Baba Braina, don't you recognize me? It was the rabbi. The rabbi couldn't have eaten the latkes, everyone said. He was in the synagogue with us the whole time. Baba Braina scratched her head in bewilderment. Something strange is happening here, Rabbi. I think there is an imposter going around. He looks like you, he talks like you, he even has your beard. Just then, Esther and David, Baba Braina's 2 grandchildren, cried out, "Come look!" Everyone ran to the kitchen to see what was wrong. They found the floor covered with bear tracks. A bear? And I thought it was the rabbi. Baba Braina had to sit down. Soon she began to giggle. That was a very clever bear. Or a very foolish Baba Braina. Oh well, let the bear have a happy Hanukkah. I had a happy Hanukkah too. And so will you, my dear friends. David, go bring me some potatoes up from the cellar. Esther, get my grater and bowl. Everybody has to help. You too, Rabbi. But I promise there will soon be latkes for everyone. Deep in the forest, Old Bear slumbered in his den. His stomach was full of potato latkes. The warm woolen scarf was wrapped snugly around his neck. Pleasant dreams, Old Bear, and happy Hanukkah. All right, friends, for those of you that celebrate Hanukkah, I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you all next week.